The EST of WWE just made the most explosive return in recent memory, and Jade Cargill didn't see it coming. What's up, Suplex Nation? Welcome back to the channel where we cover the most shocking returns, the most intense rivalries, and the moments that have the entire wrestling world talking. New to the channel? Hit that subscribe button and smash the notification bell because what went down on Monday Night Raw is absolutely insane, and you need to hear every single detail. Bianca Belair, the EST of WWE, one of the most dominant women's champions in history, made her long-awaited return to Raw. But this wasn't just any return. This was a statement. And that statement was delivered directly to Jade Cargill in the most vicious backstage attack we've seen in months. So let's break down exactly what happened, why it happened, and what this means for the future of the women's division. This is going to be explosive. Let me set the scene for you. Monday Night Raw was already delivering an incredible show when suddenly, backstage chaos erupted. Production crew members were scrambling, officials were rushing to the scene, and the cameras captured something absolutely brutal. Bianca Belair, who had been out of action for weeks, was back, and she wasn't wasting any time with words. She found Jade Cargill in the backstage area and absolutely unleashed on her in one of the most intense attacks we've seen in the women's division. This wasn't a sneak attack from behind. This wasn't cheap. Bianca walked right up to Jade and brought the fight directly to her. The intensity was off the charts. We're talking about two of the most physically dominant women in all of wrestling, and when they collided, it was like watching two freight trains crash head-on. The EST was relentless. Every strike had bad intentions behind it. You could see months of frustration, anger, and desire for retribution pouring out in every single movement. This was Bianca Belair reminding everyone why she's called the strongest woman in WWE. Jade Cargill, to her credit, tried to fight back. This is a woman who's built a reputation on dominance, power, and an undefeated streak. But she was caught off guard, and Bianca had the advantage of surprise, momentum, and sheer fury driving her forward. The backstage area became a war zone. Equipment was knocked over, personnel were diving out of the way, and the whole thing had that raw, chaotic energy that makes you believe you're witnessing something genuinely unscripted. WWE officials eventually swarmed in to separate them, but the damage was done both physically and psychologically. Bianca had sent her message loud and clear: she's back, she's coming for Jade, and there's going to be hell to pay for whatever led to this explosive confrontation. To understand why this return was so impactful, we need to rewind and look at the events that led to Bianca's absence and the tension between these two superstars. Before Bianca disappeared from Raw, there was already friction brewing between her and Jade Cargill, two alpha athletes, both incredibly accomplished, both used to being the most dominant woman in the room that creates natural tension. Jade Cargill came into WWE with massive hype. Her background, her athleticism, her look, everything about her screamed superstar. And when she arrived, she didn't come in quietly. She made it clear she was here to dominate, to take over, and to establish herself at the top of the women's division. Bianca Belair, meanwhile, had already established herself as the standard-bearer for women's wrestling in WWE. Multiple championship reigns, WrestleMania moments, consistent excellence. Bianca built her reputation through years of incredible performances. The collision course was inevitable. When Jade started making moves in the division, it was only a matter of time before she crossed paths with the EST. And when they did interact, the chemistry was electric. Not the friendly kind, the combustible kind that makes you know something explosive is coming. Then came the incident that led to Bianca's absence. Reports suggest that Jade was involved in an attack either directly or indirectly that put Bianca out of action. Whether it was during a match, a backstage confrontation, or part of a larger storyline, the bottom line is that Jade had a role in Bianca being sidelined. During Bianca's time away, Jade continued to rise. She racked up victories, built momentum, and started positioning herself as the next big thing in the women's division. Every week she appeared on Raw, she was making a statement. And every week, fans wondered, when will Bianca return, and what will she do when she gets back? The WWE universe was buzzing with anticipation. Social media was filled with speculation. When would the EST return? How would she make her comeback? Would she go after Jade immediately or take a measured approach? Well, we got our answer on Raw, and it was emphatic. Let's analyze what made this backstage obliteration so effective from both a storytelling and physical standpoint. First, the element of surprise. Jade Cargill has carried herself with confidence bordering on arrogance. She's been dominant, seemingly unstoppable. Having Bianca return without warning and immediately attack caught both Jade and the audience off guard in the best possible way. The location matters too. This wasn't in the ring with a referee and rules. This was backstage, no countouts, no disqualifications, just pure, unfiltered aggression. Backstage brawls have a different energy because they feel less choreographed and more real. Bianca's intensity was off the charts. You could see it in her eyes, in her body language, in the way she went after Jade with single-minded purpose. This wasn't about making a wrestling move look pretty, this was about payback, about making Jade feel the consequences of her actions. The physicality was impressive. Both women are incredible athletes, and seeing them go at it with full intensity showcased their power, speed, and toughness. These aren't just wrestlers, they're elite athletes who bring a different level of athleticism to everything they do. What made this attack so devastating was that Bianca didn't just get a few shots in and leave. She dominated. She took control of the entire situation and made it clear that Jade wasn't on her level when it came to sheer fury and determination. The EST used the environment. Backstage areas give you props, walls, equipment, and Bianca took advantage of all of it. This added to the chaos and made the whole thing feel more desperate and intense. Jade's reaction was telling. For someone who's been portrayed as nearly invincible, seeing her on the defensive, trying to survive rather than dominate, was a significant moment. It showed vulnerability we haven't seen from her before. The officials struggling to pull them apart added to the drama. When it takes multiple people to separate two competitors, it emphasizes just how out of control the situation has become. It makes you believe that if they weren't separated, this could have gotten even more brutal. Let's dive deeper into what this moment reveals about both Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill as characters. Bianca's return and attack perfectly encapsulates who she is as a character. She's not just athletically gifted, she's fierce, proud, and refuses to back down from anyone. The EST moniker isn't just marketing, it's her identity. She's the strongest, the fastest, the toughest, and she proved it by returning with a vengeance. What this attack shows is that Bianca doesn't forget. Whatever Jade did to put her out of action, Bianca spent her time away planning this return. She didn't come back tentatively or with caution, she came back with a mission. This also reinforces Bianca's role as a locker room leader. She's someone who stands up for herself and doesn't allow disrespect to go unanswered. That kind of character strength resonates with fans because it's admirable and authentic. The raw emotion Bianca displayed reminded everyone that underneath the smiles and the EST persona, she's a competitor who will do whatever it takes to defend her honor and position in WWE. For Jade, this attack represents a significant challenge to her dominance narrative. She's been positioned as this unstoppable force, and having Bianca return and get the better of her even in a chaotic backstage environment adds complexity to her character. This could be the adversity that Jade needs to evolve as a character. Every great superstar faces setbacks, and how they respond defines them. Will Jade double down on her confidence? Will she show vulnerability? Will this make her more dangerous? The attack also exposes that Jade may have been unprepared for the consequences of her actions. If she was involved in injuring Bianca, she should have known retribution was coming. Being caught off guard suggests either arrogance or underestimating the EST. From a storytelling perspective, this gives Jade her first real David versus Goliath moment, except she's the Goliath being challenged. How she handles this adversity will be crucial for her character development. This return and attack has massive implications for the entire women's division on Raw. Both Bianca and Jade are main event level talents. With Bianca back in this rivalry white hot, we're looking at a potential championship storyline regardless of who currently holds the title. These two women competing for gold would be must-see television. The inevitable singles match between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill just became one of the most anticipated matches in the women's division. After this backstage obliteration, fans are desperate to see them face off in an official match with stakes on the line. This level of intensity raises the bar for everyone in the division. When the top stars are delivering this kind of emotion and physicality, it elevates the entire roster and creates more compelling television. Both women can work with different opponents while building to their eventual showdown. Bianca might face Jade's allies. Jade might target Bianca's friends. This opens up multiple storyline possibilities. WWE can build this for months. Rush to the payoff, and you waste potential. Let it simmer, add layers, include other superstars, and you create a truly epic rivalry that could define the year for the women's division. Both Bianca and Jade represent excellence, power, and breaking barriers. Their rivalry showcases two black women in prominent, featured positions telling a compelling story. That representation matters and inspires future generations of performers and fans. So where does this storyline go from here? Expect Jade to respond on next week's Raw. She can't let this attack go unanswered without looking weak. We might see her cut a promo demanding a match, or she might retaliate with her own attack. Raw's authority figure will likely get involved, either sanctioning an official match or trying to keep them apart, which never works and only builds more anticipation. I predict this rivalry will culminate in a championship match at a major premium live event. Whether it's at a Big Four event or another significant show, this feels like a championship caliber feud. Given the intensity, we could see special stipulations. No disqualification, street fight, falls count anywhere. Any of these would allow them to recreate the chaos of that backstage attack in a sanctioned environment. Both women might recruit allies, creating a larger faction warfare angle. This would extend the storyline and involve more of the roster in meaningful ways. For both women, this rivalry could be the defining feud of their careers so far. The match quality, the emotional investment, the stakes, everything is aligning for something truly special. Regardless of who wins their eventual matches, both women will emerge changed. Bianca will have proven she's still the EST. Jade will have been tested like never before. That kind of character growth creates stars. The WWE Universe's reaction to Bianca's return and this attack has been incredible. Social media exploded immediately. Within minutes, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill were trending worldwide. Fans shared their shock, excitement, and anticipation for what comes next. The reaction videos have been amazing, genuine surprise and excitement from fans watching this unfold. That authentic emotion is what makes wrestling special. Wrestling analysts and media outlets are calling this one of the best returns of the year. The execution, the intensity, the storytelling, everything came together perfectly. International fans chimed in, showing that this rivalry has global appeal. Great storytelling transcends language and culture, and this feud is connecting with audiences everywhere. And there you have it, Suplex Nation. Bianca Belair made the most explosive return possible and absolutely obliterated Jade Cargill backstage on Raw. What did you think? Are you excited for this rivalry? Who do you think will win when they finally face off? Drop your predictions in the comments. If you love this breakdown, hit that like button, share this with every wrestling fan you know, and subscribe with notifications on so you never miss our coverage of the biggest moments in WWE.